You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
All righty then. I hope everybody's surviving the pre-apocalypse. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but I got Lisa Boultinghouse and Miranda, who some call Mackenzie. Yeah, it is Miranda.
It is Miranda,
okay.
Yes.
I walked in here and started sneezing. I yelled. Well, y'all probably not allergic to CBD products, so that's fine. Anyway, right, Josh?
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
Okay, all right. So I'm a little clogged up, but that's okay. I just had, this younger generation. What can I do? Anyway, we are talking about the Center for ASD. They got things going on as always. But before we jump into that, I'm going to mention this at the end. Did y'all see what's going on at the grocery stores here in town?
I did.
I saw the Facebook postings. I went Wednesday after the show. Not Wednesday. Tuesday. That's what I went. Tuesday after the show because I thought, well, there's a couple of things I wanted because I wanted to make something over the weekend. And it was already starting to get kind of thin then. And it was already crowded. And I thought, what's the matter with these people? I just went here to pick up a couple of things. But now, according to the Facebook postings, and I just saw Jonathan out in the hallway who put them up there, whole racks are empty, right?
That's absurd.
Almost all the lunch meats, all the cheaper meats, the chicken.
Oh, my gosh.
All out. But most of the bread is gone. All the eggs are gone. And what are we going to do with this after 3 days?
Yeah. So I saw someone post this morning. They were like, yeah, so everybody, you got all this food, but if we really lose electricity, how are you going to cook it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
unless you're smart and you got gas.
I guess. Or I guess that's one of the non-cooked items went. But, I thought, that's crazy. But here's my point, though. What I would ask of our famous friends here in Burleson is that you're going to have some spare grub next week, and you're going to not know what to do with it. So take it to the pantries, Promises or Harvest House or House of Hope here in town. Don't let it go to rot. If you bought 5 pounds of hamburger and you don't have the capacity to store it, then give it away because it'll get eaten. You know?
Isn't it interesting though? Just the panic that sets in. Thank you, social media, for providing that to us. And, everybody gets to say, oh, we're totally going to go off topic today. I don't know what's happening. But
I love talking.
But it's just interesting because, someone says, oh my gosh, HEB is running out of food. And then everybody runs to HEB to go get what's left or whatever. And it's like this weird chain effect.
I often had this theory, I've had it for years, that the weather forecasters and the grocery chains had a conspiracy going on. Pete Delkus gets on there. Oh, my Lord, here comes the Armageddon. And it went off to the north and fell apart at the Red River. But we all bought this stuff. And the people over at Kroger's and HEB and Albertsons are just giggling with themselves. They bought it.
I agree.
So.
I love Pete. And I don't even know if I love Pete for who he is or for those pictures of him sitting on his ice throne.
Well, I like Pete.
Favorite.
I like Pete Delkus because he's a big supporter of Dallas Baptist where I teach. And he was, I don't know if he's still on the board, but he's been on in some of these boards of regents and whatnot for him. And his daughter went there, I believe, that kind of thing. So he's a big supporter of DBU. So I love Pete, but I just saying that, I want to watch these guys and it's like, they make all these prognostications, and then they don't come true. It's
everything. The Bible. The Bible.
The Bible.
I've been spending a lot of time in the Bible app. The weather app has been. It's been crazy lately. Last week it showed that it was going to be in the 60s all this week, and the cold wasn't supposed to hit until Sunday. And then my husband told me on Sunday, no, it's supposed to get colder. And I'm like, when? What? So there it goes back. Winter's happening all in one weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's Texas. I walk around in a T-shirt one day and next day in a coat. I don't forget it in the studio like I did last time. I'm getting so bad about forgetting. I don't want to forget about the sponsors, though. See, nice segue like that.
Good job.
All right. Our friends at Our Place. Good place to get some comfort food in the next couple of days. I don't know what their situation will be Saturday or Sunday, so you need to find out in advance if they're open because Otto's not the kind of guy that's going to have his staff be at risk just to serve eggs. Last time we had a bad weather event of ice and snow, they closed down for the day. So I'd check ahead of time if you plan on having some breakfast there Saturday or something like that. But tomorrow they'll be open. They're open right now.
Yeah.
He was on the show Tuesday. and he brought us some swag from our place, some shirts and such. It was a really interesting conversation, and we couldn't stay on topic. I wanted to talk about restaurants. We started talking about everything else. This ADHD thing is really getting to me. But also, Gina's, here's what you got to do, guys. Instead of going to...
Gina's Pizza is so good.
It's so good.
I love our place. I'm really trying not to talk about the sponsors. I just talk about them.
No.
I
Talk
love
about
our
them.
place. I know. I love our place. Our place Crowley is amazing.
Yes.
Gina's Pizza, though, man.
It's addictive.
Yes,
So
it is
good.
addictive.
And they have that cool $10 special where you get a little side salad and a pizza, and that's the best. Perfect size.
Yeah. I tried one of their hot dogs a couple of months ago. The Chicago dog. Really good.
I had
you
their
get a
Italian
sandwich?
sub.
Yeah.
Yes, I've done that
they're
too.
toasted. They said get it toasted. It's the best way, and it was really good.
But here's the deal, guys. Go get you 3 or 4 sandwiches. Go get you 2 or 3 pizzas. Put them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
If your power goes out, put them outside. So, instead of going there and, hogging all the lunch meat or whatever else, go get yourself about 2 or 3 pizzas. When I was in college, my roommate and I would go to this place in Waco and get this biggest pizza they had. It's called a hunk, and it was about the size of this table. And we'd eat on that for 3 days.
Oh my!
Very cost effective,
Very.
So
The things college students do to
Oh,
eat.
yeah, that's right. You can only eat so many ramen noodles, right? Anyway, so go get you some pizzas, go get you some sandwiches, put them in the refrigerator, and so when the wolves come out of the mountains, you're well fed and nice and fat for them. Anyway, also thank you to John Williams. He's going to be busy next week. He was at the B&I meeting yesterday, and he was talking about what ice does to the roofs. And if you have a top-rated roof, it usually holds on pretty good. But if it's been 10 years, there's going to be some small cracks and whatnot in it, and then the ice forms and it starts splitting. If you have a more cheaply roofed house. So 817-734-2756. That's a number you'll need to know next week. Have them come out. The inspection's free. It's a local guy with Old Pro Roofing. Old Pro is here in town. We're about a block from City Hall. So dealing with home folks. And more than likely, you're going to have people in the neighborhoods knocking on your door about roofs.
Yeah. Or texting you.
Or texting or whatever. And, they
much texting.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. If they want to make a living, I'm not going to criticize, but stay with the home folks. They pay taxes here. Anyway, so and now it's Phillips. We'll want you here. Also, my friend Jeff Kelly at the Weathington Agency, 817-781-0546, or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. If you're looking to move in and around the area, then you need to, more of that hemp allergy I'm having. Anyway, if you want to move in and around the area, Jeff Kelly will do it for you because he knows where it is. He's got several houses for listing, and they're all different price structures, price ranges. It's not just big houses, it's not just little houses, so he could help everybody. And he does all over the county. So, and he's another B&I friend as well. Also, my friend Rich Hooper over at 88.3 The Journey. You're nodding heads.
Love that station.
Do you? Yeah, my wife does too. I'm still stuck in the 70s, while she's in the car, we're listening to Matthew West or whatever. When I'm in the car, I'm listening to Ted Nugent. A little bit different part of the spectrum
that
there.
allergy.
No, actually, Ted has been his whole life drug-free. He never did it.
Nice.
That's his shtick. He said never smoked weed or did drugs in his life.
Oh, I
now
didn't
he
know
sang
that.
about them.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But he didn't do them.
Okay.
And I don't think he does alcohol either. So
I didn't know that.
Anyway, that's what we read. I did meet Ted Nugent in 1983. He was doing a Texas Jam, which you're way too young to remember. But it was a big Cotton Bowl show.
He said you were way too young, not me.
And no, you were.
I don't even think that was a thought, guys.
No, I figured you were there on somebody's shoulders. Anyway. And anyway, after the show, I was going to a wedding reception in a hotel in Dallas, and there he was sitting in the lobby, and I go up to him and say, "Hey, Ted, how's it going?" And he goes, "Cool, man. How you doing? Great show." Even though I didn't go, well, I got a couple of your albums. Hey, thanks, man. I need the money. So that was my encounter with Ted Nugent. But you said we wanted to divert a little bit from the conversation. That's a good diversion.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Center for ASD since you're here.
Okay. Hi.
All right, you got lots of stuff going on. I know you got this event in April.
We do. So we can talk about our events so we can get that done.
Yeah, because you want to talk about other things.
I just.
Yeah, no, I get that with the show too, and it's like, is that way with auto. I said, okay, I'm going to stay on topic.
Yeah.
Hey, how about those Cowboys? And, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
our next big event is the Waymaker Breakfast. That is on February 12th, and that is something just to define why it's called the Waymaker Breakfast is anybody who chooses to give to us in any way, shape, or form, whether it's monetarily, they volunteer, whatever the case is, they walk this journey with us, and they're Waymakers for us in our organization. And we do have the Waymaker Society, which are people, individuals, or corporations that choose to support us monetarily for 5 years. So they're committed 5-year donors for a certain amount. And we're very excited about that. I'll go ahead and let Miranda go over some of the deets.
okay, Miranda McKenzie, you. All right.
So some of the details about Waymaker, just like Lisa said, this is where it's a big informational. If you don't know what the center is, this is where you get to learn. We have breakfast being provided. We have coffee. We have bagels. And it's just to see our community together and to get other people to realize this is not just our community. This is our community as Burleson as a whole, as Fort Worth. It's everybody. And that's one of the biggest reasons Waymaker is a thing is because of the community who comes and supports us financially or just being there in our corner to advocate for us outside of our
Spread the
doors.
word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good thing. What day is that? I don't have my calendar in front of me.
February 12th is going to be a Thursday.
Thursday. Well, doggone, it'll be a DBU then. See, y'all, everybody puts these
Bring
things.
your DBU class with you. It's a field trip.
Oh, yeah. Well, believe me, I think if I told them that, they might go for it instead of listening to me talk about, I don't know, 3 separate branches of government, which is a myth. I'm sorry. Did I say that? I'm sorry. No politics. I got it. Anyway, that pathway, of course.
Yes.
Every time I get either the mayor or Victoria or some other city council person on, I say, hey, we need a place to meet other than just pathway or first. Have you seen our budget? The streets got to be, okay, fine. So they expect us to have decent police service instead of a place to hang out and have fun, whatever. But anyway, Pathway Church and First Baptist, for those 2 assembly places, I guess would be meeting out in the parking lot or something. So Pathway is very generous.
They are.
They have a big event coming up. I'm going to promote it in the show with the Chamber of Commerce. Do y'all do those kind of things? On the 21st. So I'll talk about that when we get to that. But I highly recommend it for nonprofits and profits alike. Now, you also had an event with Chamber last week, did you?
Yes,
Speed dating.
We did the speed dating luncheon.
How did it go?
It went really good. We got to meet a lot of the nonprofits here locally. I met some new ones that I didn't even know were around us. The speed dating was a really cool idea. I loved it. I think that was so awesome how you got to just introduce yourself to a group of people you probably didn't even know were next door to you.
When I was in high school, I invented speed dating. I'd show up at the door, and 2 minutes later, the date's over. And so,
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I always make a joke. I couldn't get a date in all women's prison with a handful of pardons, but that's another story. My wife, if she's listening right now, her eyes are rolling like, oh, geez, I've heard this so
100%.
many years. Anyway, so that's going to be a great event.
Yeah, so it is a free event. We are looking for sponsors, but we do have a couple that are really great. We have the Weddington
Agency. Yeah.
And Grandview Bank also. And then we have Red Wing is going to support us.
That's your job, isn't it, to kind of go shake them down,
That
right?
is my job. Hey.
Well, how much does it cost to sponsor one of these things?
So our top sponsor for Waymaker is our 1,500. So that's going to be your title sponsor. And then we go down to 1,500. And then we are also doing a coffee and bagel bar sponsor for 300. And this just allows businesses, community members, even just families too. Some families love to support the center and doing a sponsorship. And this just allows them to get into that group of people who want to support our community.
And it allows, the sponsors allow us to keep the event free. So people can just come in and have a seat and learn about us.
Well, I tell you, I admire what you do, Miranda, because I know it's tough to go in this environment, economic environment, because I'm sure you have a lot of people that want to help, but maybe they're not in a position to help. And you probably hear that a lot, right?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Well, and, I can't imagine anybody saying, get out of my business. But most, I'm sure, say, that can help. They go, well, you have my good wishes or something like that. And no. So it must be tough.
Well, at the center, we And I feel like we talk about this all the time where we want you to walk with us, whether that is you just come and volunteer, you come and help us fold some papers to hand out flyers for the day. It's not just monetary. Monetary is going to come because the good Lord's going to make it come. And we just want people in our corner, in our house, helping us with their hands, with their feet, with their just physical being. And the rest of it will plan itself out.
That's a form of tithing in itself, is service. You know, not, some people like say, I can't help with money, but I do know, like we have people that work at like the Promises community. They don't really have the wherewithal to give a lot, but they show up and they help work it. You know, that's a form of service. But that is tough though. You know, because I know a lot of people in the business world now because of what I've been doing the last 6 years, and to a person they'll say, "I wish I could do more," but because the economy, because
I think people
bills have to be paid.
People really undervalue themselves and their talents, and I think we probably went wrong as a society in making people believe that they had to give money and that money was the key, and it's not. It's time, talent. Like, time is so valuable to people these days.
100%.
It really is. For a lot of people, writing a check is easier than it is showing up for a couple of hours. Is your crew, some of your students making the breakfast?
No.
Or is it catered?
Yeah, Old Texas Brewing Company is providing the breakfast.
They do that a lot, don't they?
Jamie's fabulous.
She's literally.
I have met her a couple times at chamber events, and people really speak highly of her personally and the service she provides. We had them come out I'm talking about the Burleson Opportunity Fund. We had them come out in October, and it was really, really great.
Yeah, those are delicious.
Taylor Perky says, Lisa is awesome. What a great show. Of course.
Hi, Taylor.
Yeah. Well, I hear that these little Teslas don't handle ice very well, so pray for Taylor. Maybe he'll get himself a real car instead of a go-kart. But anyway, they really do very good breakfast. I've been about 5 events at one type or another that they've catered. So they're becoming the go-to place, right?
Definitely.
Jamie's amazing, and she loves being creative with it too, because as a community, sometimes it's, oh yeah, Old Texas Brew, Old Texas Brew, Old Texas Brew. And she loves finding new creative ways to bring food to the table.
Well, that happened at the Opportunity Fund breakfast, where you had, they had eggs and whatnot, but they also had some like other stuff you normally don't get in the buffet, certain types of pastries and other things, and like French toast squares or whatever. And they're like, well, my diabetes was shot for the day. But
that was a great breakfast, though.
Yeah, you were there too, right? I remember. Yeah, I remember you walking in. I'm standing in the front acting like a big shot, like it was all my idea. So there you go.
Good job, you.
So, yeah. But when you talk about fundraising, every one of your peers and yourself has said it's the monthly givers that make the difference, really, for your budget purposes and
I just
peace of mind,
about that
maybe.
This morning.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. It makes a big difference because, okay, Taylor,
Grandpa,
Grandpa, okay, fine.
I've been on the phone with Taylor Perky whenever his car is driving himself. It's the weirdest thing. I forgot I still need to take a ride in his car.
I remember
It's
about
crazy.
3 years ago when we had the really bad storm, these electric cars weren't going anywhere. But that's fine, Anyway, Grandpa, well, I do look the part anyway. Now, but your students are going to be there, I'm sure.
Our adult participants will be there. Yes,
right.
Reach will be there. They will be handing out programs as people walk in and greeting the way that they have the last few years. And then they will also have their market booth set up for after the event.
Market booth.
So all the items that they make in Reach Market, they do screen printing, heat press, resin making. And of course, everybody who attends this year gets a really nice gift made by our participants.
And that's really nice. I know it's important.
You've been
to
before,
them.
right? You've been to one.
I've been to one of your events, but it's been a little while.
Okay.
All right. Because you'll keep planning at times when I'm busy, I'm just such a busy guy.
Yeah.
No, I've been to a couple over the last few years, and I know it means a lot to your students.
It does. It means a lot to the students. It means a lot to the parents. It means a lot to us for people to show up for us because, like we said, it's about the relationships. We want to grow the awareness, and that is what this event is about. So bring yourself, bring your your small group, your mahjong group, your Bible group, your whatever. Like, let's.
What are we, old Jewish ladies in Florida?
I mean, kind of. That's happening now. That's an in thing.
Is
so
it now? When I think of mahjong, I think 75-year-old Jewish women in Fort Lauderdale with the glasses with the strings attached.
So I'm in a group Wednesday mornings. I'm in a networking group, and there was this woman who comes. I can't remember her name, but I would totally plug her if I could. She said, old lady hobbies are the in thing right now.
So,
and she
I'm
teaches,
not lying.
yeah,
They
she
are.
teaches like how to make bread, how to sew. Brad, it's a real thing. I want to sit with her.
Okay.
I'm at that point in my life where I do puzzles now, and I enjoy a puzzle.
You'll
But
never find me catching
also-
doing a puzzle.
Give yourself time.
No.
Give yourself time.
The old
No.
personist thing I do is crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
I do that.
I do word
In
finds.
ink, by the way.
I do word finds in ink.
All right.
Yeah.
But it keeps your mind sharp,
Yeah.
so. But it's funny, so we're going to be getting a quilting bee of a bunch of millennials quilting and stuff like that.
Oh,
Look,
It's already
100%.
happening.
yeah,
I'm teaching myself how to sew, play the piano. I'm doing all types of stuff.
all right. Anyway, what else you got going on besides feeding the world here? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So this is our Coffee for a Cause.
Well, this one's already passed, has it?
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was my birthday, actually. So it was a big
nice. How
Happy
nice.
birthday.
one. No. No
So-
more singing.
Well,
I sing to her.
it's a
yesterday.
big deal when you turn 20, okay?
Oh, maybe like 26.
26?
Yeah, 26.
Well, I tell you what we got to do. We got to put your phone number, email address,
Your
all that.
Zelle.
Yeah.
So everybody can
Right.
see your money.
Yeah. Monica Moore, is that somebody?
Oh,
you know?
Monica Moore. She
That's-
is. Hi, Jean. And in case you didn't know, Jean just retired after I don't know how many years with Burleson ISD and Hill College. She was there for that transfer.
I know.
And-
I know Miss B.
yeah.
I know Miss B.
And Monica Moore is the individual who she teaches classes on how to.
I saw Miss B at the BOF meeting,
Yeah.
and she said she's about to retire and she's loving it and all this
She
other
retired.
stuff. I retired, I guess, Hill about a year ago, but I worked with Gene Bauer for, 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
It's almost
Gene's
like
fabulous.
a institution. Then when she retired, it's like, well, why even bother having school anymore?
I know. Close the building
Yeah,
down, man.
yeah.
Jean's gone. Close
Yeah.
the building.
Well, anyway, so on the 18th, have Brewing Community Connections, pouring purpose into every cup. That you'd come up with that?
I sure did.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
10 to 11, where's it at?
It is at the center. So
Okay.
we have created this Coffee for a Cause. Me and Lisa were thinking back and forth. Our big push this year is how do we get people into the doors to know what the center is? And the biggest thing, give them free coffee and food, right?
Yeah, feed them. It's like, well,
Feed them and they'll come.
well, it's like the whole town's made up of Baptists. You put food on the table, we'll show up, Anyway, 682-499-6655.
Yes.
Come on by, have some coffee, and schmooze with the clients and whatnot. With
Yeah.
with the students.
Is that your right email address?
I'm still getting emails from there.
Okay.
I can
What
still get it.
did you change?
We switched over to Outlook, so it recently changed.
Yeah, we all know
Yes.
how to .org. So
No,
we went to.
I
But-
still stuck with Gmail. So
One of the cool things about, and I like the verbiage Brewing Community Connections, is that it's also we give people an opportunity to network a little bit. It's reserved. It's only 10 people that are able to attend. And we try to bring new people into, we have our regular groups, our BNIs, our Burleson Business Connections. And sometimes it's just fun having new people
you're
in the
involved in that
space.
networking business, right?
Yeah, we
do,
all are.
Yeah, I do BNI and our friends at Next Step.
BNI's a great group.
You know.
Are they holding the seat right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know what their plans are. I don't want to put words in their mouth. I know they really enjoy it. They seem to benefit from it, but
Yeah.
then, they have to make a decision about is it worth the expense and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so who knows? We may have
That's
an
good.
opening.
I feel like the seat's been rotating a little bit.
Well, that's usually the plan. We had Harvest House on last year.
Yeah, so it was us, Harvest House, and now Next Step.
Yeah. So, I remember when Ms. Lowry, Bianca,
Yeah.
did it. Yeah, that was a while back. So who knows what their complaint is. We do give them the first choice of saying yes or no. They want it for the extra year, but there you go. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. Brewing Community Connection. And you put that cute little logo. This looks like you all over.
Yeah, I am cute.
This is what you do?
Hey, I'm starting my new tagline. I bring the fun in fundraising.
Well, copyright that, okay? But you have a lot of these opportunities. I mean, if somebody want to come tour the place, they just call that number 682-499-6655, and you could set up a tour.
100%.
I mean, you probably do that fairly often.
We do.
You know, I had on Monday I had Sarah Kyle Ross from the Kindred Montessori Academy, and she says y'all work together on certain things. You know, like this pumpkin sale or something like that.
Yeah,
We did.
we partnered with the pumpkin patch with them. So
You know, had that work out for you?
Yeah.
It did for her.
he's
I don't know if they made a lot of money, but who is Francesca?
Hi, Fran.
Oh, hello, Francesca.
That's Francesca, the pilot marketer.
Yes.
She
Friends
does.
Anew, is that a real name?
Yeah. it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
She is from Italy,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe. Francesca, if I said that wrong, please do not kill me.
Yeah.
how can you say Italy wrong?
Well, towns and cities and everything
All
like
right. All right. Well, that's good. And anyway, they had, she was talking about the pumpkin sales and how it meant a lot to her students as well.
that.
Because, you know, sometimes maybe you don't encounter your type of students all the time. You know, I didn't really have much contact with them until I started teaching. And I had to learn quickly, you know, how to operate
Yeah.
to get them to understand or whatever, or get me to understand the special ed techniques you might want to say. So it's, you know, a lot of people don't grow up with that kind of recognition unless they have somebody in the family.
Yeah. And I mean, and it just takes patience.
I was about to
so
say the
much
same
patience.
thing. It
If
takes
you-
patience. And society today is not a patient society.
I know. And
It is a I want it now, get it done.
well, you know, and I mentioned this story before, but when I was a little kid and we lived in North Carolina for a little while, the neighbor boy had to have been autistic because I talked to him and he would answer things that I didn't even ask and or say things that really seemed to be way off the subject. And I just thought, well, okay, you know, I'm 10 years old. I'm not really aware of what's going on. And
Yeah.
my mom told me, so, well, he may have special needs or whatever parlance we used back in 1970. And now I think it's a good thing that more and more students are at the elementary ages are exposed
Yeah.
to the special needs kind of community.
They need to be. Heck, we need to be. If it wasn't for Gabe, I mean, I wouldn't be in this world. And the need is so big now.
You know, we talked about before about how more and more people are being diagnosed with it. And the spectrum is a lot broader than what we first considered. Because when I first started dealing with autistic students in school, they were obviously on the spectrum, you might say. And then as I got more experienced and we got better at diagnosis, well, then that spectrum broadened, and there's other people on the spectrum that were highly functioning. You know, I had kids in my advanced placement classes that were on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And, you know, I became a bit more alert as to what that meant instead of being able to, you know, narrowly define it. It's much more broadly defined.
Yeah. We have, you know, I was helping plan, we went and did a training for Pathway Church last Saturday. And as I was talking to our program development director, you know, we were kind of just bouncing words and ideas and thoughts back and forth about it. And one of the things that, you know, that I said, and I was like, wow, that's good. It was like, just because what did I say? Just because it doesn't mean it isn't. So just because someone doesn't look like they're not like they're processing or like they're paying attention or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're not.
Well, it manifested itself in so many different ways. For me, in my experience, it wasn't like, learning disability. Some of them are very bright. It would be things like OCD type of behavior, or they got really used to a certain routine, and when that routine was disrupted, it really didn't help them much. Or, you know, they get kind of, you know, very, very tense and nervous, that kind of thing. That's what I started. I would see more of, or I'd see kids that were on the spectrum that. Well, you had to kind of monitor because they would often, you know, speak out and answer questions or participate when I'm trying to get other people to participate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I go and say, hey, you let everybody do it. Oh, okay. And they keep doing it. And I find out later that this is a symptom of autism.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of narrow focus. It's just me and him.
Oh, 100%.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's, we try to, I think, let everybody know we all have our narrow focuses, right? Like we all have our quirks and things. But so kind of going back to, you saying our participants, our loved ones, they need schedule. They need routine. That's what they really thrive off of. And so going back to the grocery stores and everything being empty, that has impacted my house, which is weird, and people don't know, but that has impacted my house because this Friday is payday. And I know that's, okay, why am I saying this? Because it's part of the story, but this Friday's payday. Every time we get paid, we buy Gabe's groceries for the next 2 weeks. And the thought of Gabe not getting his groceries because of things being sold out or whatever, that goes all over me as a mom, because I know if Gabe doesn't get what he's used to, that's going to go all over Gabe, and then that's going to wreck our week. It's going to wreck us until all the Totino's pizzas are back in stock and everything, and we can do life as usual.
That's his favorite brand there?
Yes.
Yes.
But every 2 weeks, we buy 2 weeks worth of his groceries. So we literally buy 7 boxes of Totino's pizzas. Because there's 4 in a box, he eats 2 a day. That's 28 pizzas. That's 2. That's 2. So it's just, and being able to provide that consistency. But also, like you said, being aware, why is so-and-so doing that? And not judging them, but trying to create space for them to be in your space.
Well, when I was going to do something out of the ordinary in class and I had a kid that I knew on the spectrum, I would go to that kid prior to the event and say, this is what's going to be happening.
Perfect.
And so don't get all worked up. Yeah. Or we're going to have a fire drill, boy. Yeah. We had to warn some people because that sudden sound and that disruption, it kind of upset the apple cart a bit. Yeah. So I go to them and say, we're going to have a fire drill sometime during class. So don't worry about it. It's supposed to happen. Yeah. And so, but one time we had a kitchen fire, and it went off unexpectedly. And it was, fortunately for me, I didn't have that in my classroom, but I know I was thinking of that young man, whatever classroom he was in, was probably having a meltdown. Yeah. Because of that sudden disruption in the schedule.
And doesn't everybody, my wish as a mom is that everybody is able to take that time, but society doesn't give us an opportunity to slow down. It doesn't. And so how do we do that? We have to literally build it. And I'm kind of curious, and here we go kind of sideways.
Go ahead.
Let's go. Welcome to Lisa's show.
Whatever. Hey, I could use a break.
I'm interested because Miranda's been with us since May.
Yes.
And I'm interested as to what you have learned from being with us, from, your time with us and our participants, whether it's Gabe or anybody else that you come into contact with. Like, how do you view those that we serve now compared to how you viewed them before?
So I would say going into getting a job at the center, I was really focused on adaptive sports, which is in a totally different realm. And a lot of people kind of put them together with special needs and then adaptive for disabled and handicap. And so I really didn't have an understanding. Kayla, our director, she is my sister. So she was like, hey, you would love to work with
literally or otherwise?
No, like literally, she's my sister.
Okay.
So she was like, hey, we have an opening for the Reach lead, and I think you would love it. You would be around all the adult participants. And I was a little nervous because coming from somebody who doesn't have a lot of background or information in the special needs community, I was like, what if I say something wrong? How am I going to handle this? Well, when I started getting into it, they are so much more intrigued to get to know me before I am to get to know them. They're like, who are you? What's your name? Where'd you come from? What are you doing? Like, what do you mean you play softball? What was that? What is that? And they allow space for you to be in their space. And like Lisa said, it's society today that makes us so independent and so cut off from connection that's where they're losing out on. They're losing connection because we as a society are losing that connection. And so when I started working with Gabe and driving Gabe every morning, I see a totally different side of Gabe than other people see of Gabe. And In the morning, we're jamming out. He's saying, I love you. This is amazing. Have a great day. He gave me a hug. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, we would have never guessed Gabe would have done that. And I'm like, well, I don't know either. It's just because I opened that space for him to be himself. And he knows that and he feels that from me. And along with all the other participants, they feel the same way. When I'm down there with Reach, I don't talk to them any differently. I slow my speech down. I make sure that I'm not talking in a hyper voice, because my energy, if it goes up, their energy is going to go up. And they're like, why are you doing that? Well, should I be doing that? And I'm like, okay, hold on, let's time out. So just being around the special needs community alone, one, I have learned just being more humble as a human being as well. And kind of learning to go back to the basics of life. I kind of helped into the role of on the go.
How was that?
It was really fun.
Okay, what is on the go? Sorry.
So on the go is our after school program for our adults. We take them out into stores to go shopping or go grocery shopping, learning how to be independent, be able to make those decisions of, I have this amount of money. Maybe I shouldn't buy the $22 bag of gummy bears. Maybe I should go get things that I need.
So when you do this, do you call the store ahead of time and
No.
So you don't have like a tour or a chaperone or anything like that. You just go.
Yeah, we just go into the stores because do I call Five Below and say, hey, I'm coming to the store, get ready for me? Not at all.
Five Below. That's a bar, isn't it?
No. Five Below is a little trinkety store. Everything, well, they say everything's $5 and below, but it's not anymore.
It's like Dollar Tree, but not.
I was thinking, well, there is a bar, something similar named to that. I thought, wow, y'all really are enlightened. Y'all are really,
we're just bringing the party everywhere we go.
That's a progressive approach to take them to a bar. Well, no, I'm sure that environment would be very difficult. And to go back to the grocery store, I mean, grocery stores, particularly this week, could be pretty hectic.
Yes, 100%. I mean, if you're overstimulated as a person, I guarantee they're overstimulated as an individual as well. So what we do is we go into those environments to give them that experience, one where they're around individuals in their community and not just their guardian or their parents or their sister or brother. And it allows them to be like, okay, if Gabe can do this, I can do this. If Gabe can go shopping, I think I can do that as well.
Yeah.
And it gives that sense of community. That's what we build at the center. And so I went with them, and we went to Five Below. And
where is this place, by the way?
It's in between Kohl's and Ross, I believe.
Over at Gateway Station.
Gateway Station parking
Near the new bookstore, Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't been there. I love bookstores.
I do too, and I'm hoping we're getting more retro and actually holding books. But anyway, back to y'all.
Yes.
Right.
I was about to say Grandma Hobbies. Grandma Hobbies are going hard in the bookstore. Yeah. But going back to on the go, so we went to Five Below, and I was helping two of our participants, and sometimes it just takes that, hey, what do you like, right? I'm a totally new person to them. I don't ever do this role. I just kind of helped into this the other day. And they were also very like, ma'am, who are you? And, well, I introduced myself, let them know who I was, how I was there to help them. And then I went around the store with them. One of them, he was like, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this. And then the other one was like, I've never been here before. I'm not quite sure what I want. So then that's where I step in. Okay, well, what do you like to do? Do you like to color? Do you like to do puzzles? Do you like Legos? Do you like sports? Just trying to grab those things that are a little bit harder for individuals who aren't vocal with their feelings and express.
Now, this is not virtual shopping. Do they have money, real money?
Yeah, no, they have real money.
So we let the families know what the outings are going to be, and the family sends the appropriate amount of money.
Okay, I was thinking, you walk in and say, I want this, what this. Oh, that's very good. Now put it back. You're not going to be able to learn a very good experience.
That's terrible. That'd be terrible.
That would be really terrible. But we kind of just walk them through basic life skills that we take for granted, in all honesty. And so at the end, we take them to the pay station. We tell them, are you paying with card or cash, or do you have a gift card? And we walk them through the station, since everything is self-checkout nowadays. That's harder for an individual who has his own special needs.
Oh, not just special needs.
Literally,
right? It took me a while to figure it out.
just kind of guide them through the steps of, okay, if you're going to pay with cash, we do this. And they bag their own groceries. We do not, it is full independence. We help them where it's needed. We do not do the output for them. Yeah, we don't do it for them. And so, yeah, we just kind of go through all that, and then we take them back and we hang out and look at everything that they bought.
Yeah.
Well, that must be a fun experience for them. Having that kind of independence. What is the term you millennials use? Agency. I feel so woke using that word, but I mean, but having that kind of independence and make their own choices. That's our friends in the food pantry say that makes a big difference with their clientele.
It makes a huge difference, but it makes a big difference to us as parents because knowing that my son can go out. Gabe came by. He came by my office yesterday. Was asking about something, and I was like, "Where'd y'all go today?" He was like, "We went to Sam's," and I'm like, "Cool," because there's a lot of things. It's kind of like. Your kid acts one way with you, but acts a completely different way in public. And that's any kid. That's any kid.
Yeah, you got that right.
So that is definitely, my kid doesn't want to go with me in the community. He doesn't want to go with me to go run errands. He'll go with me sometimes, but he'd rather not. So to know that he's still learning things and he's out there learning to be a independent, member of society, it means a lot for me, because like Miranda said, it means so much whenever your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister aren't there. And it means a lot because they're learning, but also, again, like I tell people, we need to prepare our kids for when we're no longer here. And we need people who are able to do that for us.
Yeah,
you don't find a lot of that.
Yeah, and, I think about a friend who has an adult autistic son and the joy they get from the small things.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
100%.
You know what I'm talking about, right? And he has a job, and that makes all the world different. It's not the money. I mean, it's his money, and they put it aside for him. When he wants to buy something, he uses his money and that kind of thing. But that's not the money.
It's not.
It's the independence and the responsibilities, and he takes it pretty seriously. And it's something. One of those things that he works at Babes, and it's one of those things that needs to be done that no one thinks about. But he takes a great deal of seriousness towards what he's doing.
But for us as parents, that is huge. And even so they are they're pouring resin and doing some resin projects at the center. And one of the staff brought pictures to me of Gabe, and he did his, and then another participant who was there, she isn't great at pouring resin, but she likes sprinkling the glitter and doing all that. So she asked Gabe, and just the fact that he was part of this conversation, she asked Gabe, "Can you pour my resin?" And he was like, "Sure." And so he poured it, and then she sprinkled it, her glitter or whatever she was doing. And I was just like, the fact that he was part of that conversation, he acted appropriately in that time, and he was receptive to it. It's a game changer for me.
Yes, it is. It was for my friends as well, because before your center came along, they were relying strictly on the public school system, which is.
And then you graduate out, and where do you go?
That's right. It's when I say it's problematic.
And your friend is part of. I don't know if he's in OTG right now, but he was in OTG last semester, so we see a lot of him.
I bet he is.
I love him.
Yeah, well, and all of us in our Sunday school class.
Yeah.
I think he knows that we're part of his mother and daddy's friend group, but he didn't know who we are really.
Yeah.
But it's individually, he doesn't know us. But when he's around us, we talk to him just like he's part of the group, and it means a lot to his parents. It's definitely. But one thing that changed when I was in the school system is that we went to a mainstreaming process about mid to late 90s. That we didn't just have special needs kids kind of shuffled down into certain classes, certain hallways, unless they were severe. Okay, down in BHS, I don't know if it's still in the same wing, but it was down the wing from where I taught. That's where the much more profoundly disabled were at. But those that had any ability at all to benefit or succeed in an academic setting, they put them in our classes. And it did take a little bit of extra effort sometimes. But, I never had a lick of discipline trouble with any of those guys.
Yeah.
Not a drop. It was, I might have to take a little extra time.
Yeah.
And
some of them can get feisty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of them. I feel like especially in our reach, our adult program, I'm independent. I'm an adult. And I'm like, you are for sure. But let's look at what we're doing first.
Slow down.
I never really, well, I'll take it back to it was one time where one of my students kind of got indignant with me a little bit. And I just said, back off. But most of the time I'd say, do this. And I might have to help them do this. But they would, sure, whatever, And they also knew their routine. They knew that, okay, at certain points, they'd go down to the teacher's aides.
Class.
Yeah, and get help and all this other stuff for certain topics and whatnot. And they just knew how to do their own thing. They had their own schedule. So I'd do my thing. Okay, we're going to do this classwork assignment. And they'd say, okay. And they'd go down to the hall to their group. And they had that kind of discipline routine really, I think, meant a lot to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, wow, I wish some of my kids worked as hard as this,
And I feel like, too, with a lot of how people just want to work and get things done their own way, it is their first reaction of, let me just do this for you. When my first question to most of our participants is, do you need help? Or do you want me to show you? Do you want help? And they'll be like, no, I can do this. And I'm like, perfect. Got it. I'll leave.
Yeah.
The classes I taught, only in economics was it more, tangible stuff like drawing and graphing and whatever else. And I would have to show them, but after a while they wanted to do it themselves and that kind of thing. So, when they first started mainstreaming kids back in the, I'd say 97, 98, I had some doubts because I wasn't trained in it. My generation of teachers didn't train in it. Now every teacher that goes through training goes through special ed training. Every last one of them, but that wasn't required back then. And so I went through my classes. I took the test. Boom, I'm certified. And I'm thrown into a class of 70 or 80. No, I had my first year at HMS at the Hughes Middle School I had 210 kids over 7 periods. All right. And one of the classes was very small, so that means the other ones are very large. I was averaging around 35 a class.
Yeah.
That's not good for your all's clientele at all.
That's where mainstreaming gets difficult.
Yeah,
because if you want our kids to learn, you have to create an environment for that to happen.
Now they need to be in smaller classes where I could take the time to accommodate their needs. But I thought, how in the world are these kids going to learn? When I got 33 others sitting there, and they're all 7th graders, and they're all mostly, kids. They're not evil little demons. Well, some were, but I'm just saying I didn't know if that was going to work. But the alternative of isolating them, I don't know if it was the right thing to do either. Because it wasn't just isolating them; it was isolating my kids.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think I've talked about this before with Gabe. It was. When he was younger, I wanted him in mainstream. I wanted him gen ed because I wanted him to learn from his peers. I wanted him to do all the things. But then when he got about 3rd grade, I was like, no, he's not learning anymore because that gap starts to widen a little bit, that educational gap and that social gap where he's not keeping up. But the teacher has to keep moving to meet her, to meet her guidelines for testing and everything. And so I was like, in the beginning, I was like, mainstream. And then I was like, resource. But then also you have such a gap in resource where then you have the emotionally challenged individuals, with the emotional disturbances. That's completely different.
Yeah, you bet it is.
And I think that's what people don't understand whenever you're in the school district, in the school system. It's just the need is huge.
Yes.
You have a lot of kids on 504s, you have a lot of kids on IEPs, you have a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And, you have all these acronyms that people don't even understand what it is. And then all the time that's taken away from the teachers actually teaching because they have to keep up with all the paperwork and do all the documentation. So that, again, continues to limit the time that we actually get to teach our kids. And that's why it's so important to us that we give them that opportunity now.
Towards the end of my career, what they would do at Burleson High School is they would put all the 504 type kids that were, gen ed eligible in one class. And, so it'd be like, my example would be first period. My first period class, I had 11 or 12 that go to resource. When we talk about resource classes, then we're talking about going down for like special help on certain things or testing, special testing, whatever, for small group testing, oral testing, whatever. But they still would be getting most of their instruction in the classroom, and supposedly we would have an aide in that class to give more attention to that. And I don't know if it was is that the best solution possible? It was the only economic solution possible, and that's the problem often with the special ed programs in the schools, because
you don't have enough funding.
Yeah, well, in this one class, I had 12 of these resource kids. I had 2 or 3 that were talented and gifted, and therefore, according to state law, I'm supposed to do something different with them, which I did not. Think you can take me away, Mr. Abbott, if you want, because I could, and you had the general ed kids, and then you have the English deficient kids, I guess, English as second language kids, and
the need, not just with our kids, the need in general for what the school system is lacking is
then
overwhelming.
I'm going to segue on this, because next Wednesday at special show, I'm going to have Representative Helen Kerwin on, and I'm going to ask her about her vote on the vouchers. I'm going to give her opportunity to explain.
Can I come be the in studio audience
if you want to? But I'm not going to ambush her.
Oh no, 100%. I like to learn. This is how I learn. What's happening?
You can watch the show.
How can we? How can we?
Just like, no, I want to be here.
Well, no, I'm going to ask her. I'm going to let her explain it. Now, I have concerns about the voucher system, and I'm going to express those concerns. But I'm not going to, what were you thinking? How could you be so cruel? It's not going to be like that at all.
Share my idea about I have a concern about the voucher system.
Go ahead. I could pass it along to her. Sure, why not? It's a guest. I don't tell you guests what to say.
You live your own life, Lisa.
Yeah, that's right. Go for it.
I'm concerned that public schools are going to become institutions for the special needs and the behavior individuals.
That's not an invalid concern,
because they're going to carry all this money to the private school systems, and if you don't make it in a private school, and then all the kids that are eligible for private school and are going to make it and are going to be great in it are going to stay there, and then you have the kids that aren't, and then the public schools are going to become. Well,
I'll pass that concern along to her, and I don't know what her response is. She can answer for herself. My personal opinion about the vouchers is that, if you worked in a system that totally was dysfunctional, something has to be done. But I don't think most school systems are totally dysfunctional.
No, they're not.
And
what about the state of Texas taking over? They took Fort Worth ISD.
Yeah.
And
they did it to Houston.
They did it to Houston, but they also took over where White Settlement is.
Oh, you talk about the Castleberry?
I think so. Didn't they?
I don't remember reading that. But
okay.
Well, the thing also, my concern, and I'm getting way off the topic, is that
I told you we were going to go sideways.
Yeah, is that on paper it's meant for people below a certain income.
Yeah.
Well, I taught 3 years at Southwest Christian, and people below that.
That's
certain
a
income,
nice campus.
I wasn't there for the building part.
You weren't there at the Benbrook Lake part. Oh, okay.
Well, I was when I was there. I was at Benbrook Lake, but I left before they began the building program,
okay.
so I haven't, I haven't seen it really because my life's moved on, whatever. But the thing is that the kids that went there really were not in financial distress or need.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned that money's going to go to the families that really already have the wherewithal to send their kids to school. That's what I'm going to ask her.
Yeah.
Is that not a concern?
Yeah. But then are we concerned about the private school system becoming watered down because they get an influx of students?
Well, that's going to be up to the schools. I could tell you.
And that's where you hope that they manage their resources wisely.
Well, I will tell you the two biggest differences I saw between BHS and Southwest Christian was not the quality of the student. I had some fantastic students at BHS, and I had some students at Southwest Christian that were average. So it wasn't like they were so much more intellectually elevated.
They just had the funds.
Well, some of them
had the resources to be there.
Yeah, they were bright kids. Obviously at Southwest Christian, but I had a lot of bright kids at BHS. I mean, we sent kids all over the country to all the best schools.
Yeah.
The two things I noticed, so they had smaller classes and they had a tighter discipline. So, if you did have a kid that bow up on you or give you trash, there would be actual consequences. Right. Whereas at the public schools, and this is the reason why so many kids that I formerly taught, they're not kids now, they're adults with children, but former students of mine homeschool because it's not so much that they're not going to get a good education. It's just they're concerned about the atmosphere in which they're sending their kids in.
Yeah.
And I just don't wonder, is the voucher system going to make that worse or better?
Yeah.
And so
it's interesting to watch it play out.
well, and also another thing that private schools have is they can self-select. They don't have to take everybody. Whereas BHS, if you live in the district, you're going.
Yeah.
If you choose to.
Yeah.
So that was the things I'm going to talk about with Miss Kerwin. I'm going to advertise it, of course, but I don't want people to think this is going to be some sort of gotcha interview. No, it's going to be respectful. And
I love to engage in conversation with people because I like to learn. I like to know both sides of it.
Yeah.
I really do.
I would be interested in what their perspective is on this, because from my perspective is I'm not seeing a great deal of benefit except for a small number of people.
Yeah.
Is this going to benefit the state of Texas? So we'll see. And I'm also ask about property tax issues because Mr. Abbott wants
Oh, you're going to ambush her then. I'm
All right,
joking.
No, I talked to her 2 days ago when we set up the interview.
Yeah.
And I told her right then, this is what I'm going to ask you, vouchers and property tax freezes that Mr. Abbott wants to have done. And she goes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time. We're going to see you again, I bet, before April, though. Don't you have a late April? You have the Light Up the Night?
We do. We have Light Up the Night.
Do you have
Yes.
the logo with it or not yet?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Oh, wow.
There we
okay.
go.
We got off on the topic. We almost ran out of time. We got to do this.
So we are having our 5th annual Light Up the Night. It is in April, and April is National Autism Awareness Month. And Light Up the Night is truly just to bring the community together, learn, have a great time. I've heard that when you think about it, think of it with a circus without the rides. We're going to have.
Good job. Yep.
Yes, it's a circus without the rides. It's a glow themed because we really do want to light up the night. As you can see, the times are 6 to 9. So this does go into dark hours. And we have partnered with the Burleson Farmers Market.
Wow,
So
nice. That's a
we
good
will,
group.
right. They always have a great turnout, great vendors who come and do that. So we're partnering with them. We're going to have amazing vendors out there. We also have annually our Country Critters Petting Zoo. That's always fun.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. You might find me over there the entire time. If you need me, you'll find me there.
Oh, nice.
We'll have DJ Tay. He's going to keep the energy up. He's going to keep the information of our Autism Awareness Walk. It's our Glow Stroll. So as you can see, it says the interactive Glow Stroll experience, providing unique photo opportunities along with the route. So our Glow Stroll, we have made it this year into a community interactive stroll. I know I just repeated myself, but
We're going to have some autism facts and things like that kind of set up.
That's a big deal. Is this your biggest deal? I know y'all have a golf tournament.
This is our biggest community,
Right.
our biggest community event.
Do you still have the golf tournament?
yes, we do.
Where's it at? May?
It's in September, the end of September.
Thank you, because there's so many golf tournaments at the end of May, early June, including the Opportunity Fund.
Have a great day, Aaron.
Aaron is he's a local listener, and I never met him personally, but he's very faithful, and I appreciate that very much. And hope you all have a good, safe weekend over there in Cleburne. So there you go.
I want to bring. So we did a in-house contest for the byline for this. So lighting the way for autism awareness. One light, one night, one community.
Did you think this up?
I did not. We opened it up to all of our teachers and our
Office
staff.
staff, yeah,
all of the teachers, all the staff, and we did a kind of who's going to win on the best one.
Or the second place. The second place one was Light Up the Night. Why not?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh no! What was it? It was Light Up the Night. Let's get lit.
Yeah.
Get lit
for a cause.
Let's get lit for a cause.
Get lit. Josh, what does that mean? He doesn't know.
What?
What? Out over here.
Pleading the fifth on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great because we'll have you again on definitely before like late March maybe, and we could talk about that one more specifically, and also what you do for the summer coming up because.
That'd be great.
The summertime, without school, I'm sure your clients, your younger ones anyway, have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
So you have to have a lot of activities planned.
Yeah. A lot of summer
We
camp.
do a lot of camp. A lot of camp.
God bless what y'all do. I mean, I have not heard of any other community that has this available to them. It's not in any town around here, I know. And we're very fortunate because we have so many of these nonprofits. My favorite show of the year is that one in September at Otto's Joint or at the Gina's Pizza because I see y'all together. It's not just y'all's 8-9 minutes, whatever with me. It's I see y'all together. And
I mean, we coexist together.
Well,
I talked to Amber this morning. I was on the phone with Amber for like 20 minutes this morning. So
wait, next time we talk, she needs to return my text because she wants to get on the show, but we can't. We keep missing the dates.
Phone tag.
Well, no, I wanted her on earlier, but they were busy at the Harvest House, and then so if she's listening now, dadgummit, let's get on the schedule. Got it wide open February for the most part.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, one of our friends is leaving, retiring. Not leaving because she's unhappy. She's leaving because she's retiring. Elizabeth Becker to Crowley House of Hope.
Oh,
did you not
I
know
did
that?
not know that.
Yeah, I got a little note from her because they send thank you cards like you do every month, and she wrote a note said I'll be leaving the 23rd of January. She just I don't know how much she'd let on, but I had a feeling that she was coming to the end of her tenure because she'd been doing it a long time.
Yeah,
and
fabulous.
As you well know, it could be running a nonprofit is stressful.
Yep. Just a little bit.
Well, and also another one of our peers, Debbie Beeman at Promises, is now retired because of health issues.
Oh, okay.
She's going to go live with her sister down south, and but she told me this was coming because she was having all these health issues. So God bless her. And they're still looking for somebody to take her place. They got an interim going on right now, and I saw the requirements. I fit about 2 of the 10. I breathe and I can stand upright. Other than that, I'm out. So, Denise Wurtzman Savoy, a friend of yours?
Hi, Denise. That's our program development director.
Okay, how you doing? But God bless you. And out there in vast listening audience, if you have a chance to send a note over to Crowley House of Hope, tell Elizabeth thank you for all she's done. Bless her heart.
Yep.
She's very sweet.
Oh, 100%. I'll have to reach out to her.
Yeah.
I love her.
Josh, what are you going to do this weekend?
Hunker down. Stay off the roads, yeah.
Yes, please do. If you wreck and get hurt or, God forbid, worse, what am I going to do for a show?
I'm looking forward to being inside this weekend.
Maribel Castaneda says, love you all.
Hey, Maribel.
That's one of our board members.
Wow.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, y'all that saw this, share this. I need the views.
Go back and listen. Yeah, go. If you missed the whole thing, go back and share it because.
Well, we're not having a show Monday. We were going to have a show on Monday.
Replay me. Us.
Replay me.
Well, Josh, can you make that work?
I imagine so, yeah.
Okay, just do that then. That way.
Winner. See, all you got to do is ask Miranda. That's all we do is ask.
All right, just replay Monday. That's fine because I don't want. Can you do that without having to come down here for it?
Surely.
Okay, you do it from your house?
Yeah.
Okay, do that then because I don't want you to get on the road. Like you said, if something happens to you, I'm stuck. Yeah. I have to have Taylor again. We don't want that. Anyway.
Taylor Perky.
Yeah. But Wednesday, like I mentioned, at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, it's a special show. We're going to have Representative Kerwin. And if you have a question for Ms. Kerwin, send it to me.
I'm going to invite her to go have lunch. What time is she going to be on? 11?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, that fits her schedule, and I'm fine. I could do that. All righty. We'll see y'all
Thanks for having
next
us
week.
on.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye, y'all.
It.
Bye.